Hello and welcome to Sports Betting Illuminated, where we play with the house and not against it. Hello and welcome. Hi there, Chuck Science. Welcome in. It's so wonderful seeing all of you here, and my apologies for running a little bit late. Got all caught up with a few work things. Ken, so wonderful seeing you here. How are you doing so far this evening? How's your day been going? Happy Tuesday. DJ Ray, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in early and sticking with me, even though I was running a few minutes behind, but a lot's going on in the far infrared industry. I just got my fabric. It's been getting manufactured in North Carolina, and I've been waiting a long time for it. So some beautiful fabric coming really soon. It's a brand new far infrared fabric that basically takes your body's own thermal energy, recirculates it back into you as healing, beneficial far infrared energy. Just a lot of cool projects that I'm really excited to introduce to you soon. Hey Derek, hey Alvin, how y'all doing tonight? By the way, if you are new here, please give the stream a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Ariel Calista. I'm an author of Sports Betting Illuminated, an AI-powered path to profit. I'd love if you all would check out my book. It is in bookstores, Barnes & Nobles, Kindle. You could get it on Amazon, all sorts of ways to access it. Absolutely. Not a lot of domestic fabric being made in the US. I know even just a few years ago, I've been doing a lot of business. I was getting really into like the t-shirt printing and learning all about that. And even just t-shirts with fabric that was actually manufactured here. It was already like $14 for a blank t-shirt before it even had any prints or designs on top of it. So to be able to actually manufacture things here in America for an affordable price to get out into people's hands, to actually manufacture textiles in America, it's very rare. Everybody else is doing it overseas, like China, Bangladesh, India, Vietnam, all of those countries. Hey Tyler, how you doing? But yeah, it's unique, and I'm excited. I have some big projects launching really soon. Thank you so much, DJ Ray, for letting people know where they could find my Substack. I'm always posting new articles on there. And yeah, just trying to keep things fun, interesting, talking about horse racing, talking about all kinds of things, AI, sports betting, prediction markets, and just the intersection of all of it. By the way, my Substack is always free, and I just want people to access the information. That's it. But if you'd love to become a supporter, that would be amazing as well. Thank you so much, DJ Ray. I appreciate it. Yeah, doing a lot, but you know what? It keeps me busy. It's a lot of fun, and I like doing what I do, so it's important to enjoy it. Enjoy what you do for work and going into work every day and being motivated that way. Now, before we get started, first we're going to have to sit back, relax, and get our minds right so that we can win some of these wagers tonight. Of course, still is that little bit of a rocky period. We're waiting for baseball to really officially start, and it's always just with college, it's always just that rocky time of the year. It happens every single year. The lines always get a little bit more unstable, and this isn't just something that's happened this year. I'm not saying this because our streak's been any different than previous years. It's just one of those periods in the year where for whatever reason, the markets kind of tighten up a little bit. There's a lot of Joe money in the markets, and also a lot of the sharps just end up laying low. Hey, Super Pro, welcome in. DJ Ray, you know it. Ariel Calista, that's my main website. You guys know the launch of my CBD website, Physicians Approved CBD. But a lot of new stuff coming too. Like I just secured a domain, rayleave.com, and that's going to host a lot of my far infrared stuff along with Hextex. So yeah, okay. Let's get started. This is Toad Venom. It is a cross between animal face, my bad, animal face and sin mints. It comes from West Coast connoisseurs and Roman seeds, and it is just like a tasty hybrid that, you know, has a good euphoric overall effect. And it's very popular too. Maybe it's the name Toad Venom. I don't know. I mean, don't some people like toads to get high? I heard that's like a thing. I can tell you this, no toads were harmed in the making of this. This is just green cannabis off of the plant, the way nature intended. Thanks so much, Superfo. Yeah, everything's happening right now with a lot of these products launching, and it's really cool. It's a whole new category of products. You guys know about a year ago, maybe a little bit over a year ago, I started making my own makeup, and with someone, you know, I've had crazy acne since I was like 12 years old, and it really cleared up my skin. So, you know, being able to offer, you know, all these kinds of products, whether it is, you know, cosmetics kind of products, cosmeceuticals, or, you know, blankets that are made here in America, that you put on in your sauna that, you know, actually are healthy. They increase, studies show they increase like alpha and theta brain waves, which really is like the same as deep meditation. I don't know. It's a lot of cool stuff, cool line of products that I've been really getting into, backed by science and real science, not just, there's a lot of, you know, what they say, snake oil out there. I mean, I've heard a fair share of it myself, but oh yeah, DJ Ray, it is a good strain. All right, that is good. Like, ooh, that is such good Toad Venom. Were the strawberries always blue? No, I'm just playing. I'm not that high, but I am feeling really good and excited to get into some wagers. Headbands, that would be the real deal. Absolutely. I could see a lot of athletes wearing the headbands, you know, professionals. Even like festival goers, people that are just out there vibing. Everyone can wear like, hey Thomas, how you doing? Let's do it. Let's win some wagers. Let me just go over my current updated ROIs. I am going to put them right here on the screen. Okay. Okay, they should be updated now. All right. So currently we are sitting in a little bit of a weird spot where our ROIs aren't quite 30%. Usually they're over 30%. But so far, you know, we're just hanging in there. In the NBA, we're sitting at a 29.1% return. So close. We are right there. We've had a 71.3% win rate in the NBA this season, and we've played 160 units so far. So that is, you know, some steady progress over time, and let's just keep bringing this ROI up even higher. You know, I don't see, you know, how we can't be in the, you know, high 30% level very soon. In college basketball, we're sitting at a 29% ROI with a 67.5% win rate. We've played 151 units so far in college basketball this season. And finally, in hockey, we have a 26.3% ROI with a 62% win rate. And we've played 113 units so far this hockey season. Oh yeah, I am always putting out different plays that I find in the free daily emails. If you haven't joined the free daily emails, you guys know how to do so. Just go to arielcalista.com right here. Click the little stay in touch button. That's it. That's all you have to do. Fill out your information, put in your email address, and boom, that's it. Emails in your inbox every single day. We find the winners, we're tracking the lines, plus you got sports information, health information. I mean, there's just so much in these emails. Like, it's good. Okay, you don't like this slate. You know what? I agree with you, Derek. It's not. It hasn't been the strongest slate. What's your only play tonight is the Jackets puck line. Okay. You know, I was looking at another show or another play tonight. Yeah, this one was the Senators, the Red Wings, 7 o'clock. Yeah, this is another money line that I was looking at in hockey tonight. I think this Detroit Red Wings money line is looking pretty interesting. But let me take a look at this one. Hey Spencer, welcome in. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Hey DJ Ray, coming in on kick. I don't know why the Rumble emotes don't come through here, but the kick ones do. Add the early play, and Derek is going to give us the best puck line. Oh, Thomas. Okay, you like these look-ahead lines. You know what? You've been doing pretty well with these look-ahead lines, these advanced plays. Alrighty, let's see what's going on here. Are there any other plays tonight that maybe you're eyeballing in hockey? Anything catching your eye? It still looks like there's some sharp money here on Detroit tonight. But it is sitting at minus 131. Sometimes I don't like just taking minus 131. So if you're thinking about it, I understand. Okay, Ducks might be okay on the money line. Or Ducks might be okay on the puck line too. Pelicans NBA, you know, I haven't seen too many NBA games that I have been loving at this moment. I I don't know. I feel like especially just at this time of year, it's a little harder. It gets a little bit harder, like betting on the NBA. But what do you think? I do see a bit of sharp money here on, yeah, pretty consistent money here on this Columbus money line and on the buck line as well. I like that it's pretty consistent across both the money line and the puck line here. And some journalists like the Pelicans. Let's see. They opened up at plus 9.5, minus 118. Right there. Right now they're sitting at plus 8.5 in a lot of spots. So, I mean, I do see this line moving, but it's not really moving a lot. The money is a little bit mixed here when I'm just looking at the Pelicans. It's like the line has moved a little bit in the right direction, but I would like to see just a little bit, either more on the money or more on the line. Should we take a look at the Ducks here? Looks like right now they are sitting at minus 1.5, plus 130 in a lot of different spots. There's a little bit of money showing up here. No, money is looking a little bit sharp too on this Ducks puck line. That is pretty interesting. So I'm gonna keep my eye on that. It looks like some sharp money is showing up there. Yeah, well, just be careful out there as you guys see sports journalists. A lot of them just have incentives to write articles to get clicks. But a lot of times when it comes to sports betting, it's it's sometimes, like you might as well just be tossing a coin. Unless they have a real track record. And, if they do have a real track record, they shouldn't be afraid to put it out there and advertise it. And, I would see people on TikTok always like deciding to, I put out my picks, but I didn't do too well, so I'm going to delete the video. Or I'm going to challenge you to a contest, but I'm not doing too well, so I'm going to stop replying. All those kinds of things. The so-called handicappers. Some sharps just pounded a stars puck line. That's interesting. I'm not seeing it yet. I'm gonna have to refresh my numbers here. They've got it big at plus 145. Right now, I see you can still get the Stars puck line for plus 155 in some spots, plus 145. Let's change. Let's change the music. Like, I feel like it got a little weird. I'm using a lot of the music here on like this Restream app, but I'm thinking about switching apps. Maybe doing something a little more customizable. I don't know. Okay, so you meant the Stars money line. Let's, let's take a look at that. I do see a lot. I do see a lot of money on the Stars money line. It looks like it's sitting at like what minus 162 in a lot of spots. Minus 170, I think it's sitting at in most spots right now. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I think there are maybe a few like gems here in hockey tonight. We just have to find them. Thanks, Superfro. I think I've been a little bit focused in here tonight, but that's okay. We have a lot of games to cover. There's a lot on the board, but also there's a lot of stuff that looks like, maybe a potential play, but you have to just be really tricky. Like, it's really tricky this time of year because you never know, like, what, what's kind of a trap. So let's talk about this 7 o'clock game. In college basketball, I'm looking at Wichita State versus Tulsa. This is a 7 o'clock game, and I've just been keeping my eye on the total here. It opened up at 150.5. It went up to 152.5. Then there's level 4 money on the over, but this money got even stronger. So you guys know I grade my money on a scale of significance. There's always going to be mixed money. There could even be, like a lot of strong mixed money. Sometimes it could go a little more pro, a little more Joe. But in this case, the money just got even stronger. And I went to level 5 over money. It is sitting at over 153.5 right now. And the sportsbook moved this line 3 points towards the over. So I like to see that. I like to see the sportsbook move the line in one direction with all of the money piling on the over. Looks like a solid play here. I agree, DJ Ray. I do need to hit one. This tone venom has been getting me high. But not actual tone venom, guys. just a cannabis strain. That is some good stuff. Oh, here's another thing I picked up at the convention. I don't know if I showed it to you yet, but it's another cartridge. It's a THCH. I've been testing it out because I've been familiar with THCP in the past, THCA, but never tried THCH. It's pretty good. I like it. But this strain has a weird name. It's cheetah piss. So, okay. I'm looking at another 7 o'clock game. So, yeah, I mean, really just this Detroit Red Wings money line tonight. These are the 2 7 o'clock games that I like. They're coming up really soon in less than half an hour. So I would say if you're interested in these games, these are the two that are coming up the soonest. But I do have one more play in college basketball that I want to go over. And that is the St. Joseph Hawks versus New Mexico game. This is a 9:00 game, and this is another total I've been interested in. It opened up at 149.5, then it went up to 154.5. So that is already a big 5-point move towards the over. So 2 overs in college basketball that I've noticed here tonight on the board. There was level 5 money initially on this over. Right now there's level 4 money, so it's not quite as strong, but I would say compared to everything else, it's still very strong money. And with a big 5-point move like that, I think this is looking like an interesting play. So yeah, I would say tonight, just in college basketball, I'm really just cherry picking my spots here. But I would say this Wichita State Tulsa over and just the St. Joseph's New Mexico over are looking like my favorite plays. And then hockey, looking at this Detroit money line looks pretty interesting, and I like these plays that we've found here tonight. Dallas money line definitely looks like it has a lot of money on it, but sitting at minus 162, and is it minus 162.5 right now? Yeah. It's not like my favorite necessarily playing that. Yeah, but Derek had a good play on the Jackets puck line tonight. Let's see. I feel like maybe there are a few more plays in hockey that we could find. Okay, so I'm just going to take a look at the Lightning here. Yeah, it's just looking pretty mixed right now at the moment. You like Tampa Bay? I do see there's a little bit of money right here on this Tampa Bay puck line. It looks a little bit better than what's going on this Tampa Bay money line right now. The Tampa Bay money line looks a little bit more shaky to me. It just looks like there's a little bit of Joe money there in the mix. But you know what? Let's see. It does look like this puck line has just kind of been sitting here. It's been sitting steady. Too juicy. Any early baseball money? Let's take a look. I've been kind of staying away from baseball just for the moment, really until it starts. But let's see if there's any early money coming in. Okay, so Just looking at tomorrow, Yankees versus San Francisco. Right now, there is some pro-looking money on the Yankees money line. A bit of money here on this run line as well, and a lot of people are taking over. That's what I see so far. A lot of people are taking over. Like, it just seems like over across the board. Level 5 money all the way. Yeah, I agree with that, Thomas. Still a little too early for baseball. Like, a little too early to feel, very, very confident about, plays there. But it's right around the corner, and I'm excited because, the first few weeks of baseball have always been, very strong for us. And just looking in the past, last season, baseball, we had a 47.9% ROI. That was really, really crazy. The year before, it was lower. It was a 25.7% ROI, but it was still good. And then 2023, 34.2% ROI. So last year was our best baseball year ever. And hopefully this year it just gets even better. That's my hope. Alrighty, let's roll into the 2-minute drill. I think you guys are going to like this one. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will be in the comments section. Enjoy. If you want to understand the single most important concept in machine learning, forget about the textbook. Watch the NCAA tournament. Every prediction model ever built faces the same foundational problem. Does the model actually learn from the regular season and generalize to new data, or did it just memorize the past? In machine learning, we solve this problem through data splitting. You take your full data set, you carve out a training set that the model learns from, and then you hold back a validation and a test set. The training set builds the pattern. The validation, that lets you tune your hyperparameters and make your model even better. And then the test set reveals whether the model is able to create solid predictions on unseen data, or whether it just memorized the past. March Madness is the most brutal public test set in American sports. The regular season is your training data. 30 plus games of conference play, tempo-free efficiency metrics, KenPom ratings, turnover percentages, offensive rebounding rates, and all of it is feeding models that grow more confident as the sample size grows. Analysts build elaborate systems on this data. They optimize. They feel like they've cracked it, and statistically, within the training distribution, they often have. The model is doing exactly what it was trained to do. But then the tournament bracket drops, and the data distribution shifts hard. The features that your model was trained on, home court advantage, confidence-based tendencies, matchup dynamics with familiar league structures, all of this doesn't transfer cleanly onto a neutral floor, single elimination format against opponents drawn from an entirely different sample. This is called covariate shift. The input distribution at inference time no longer matches the input distribution at training time, and your model has no framework for handling it. This is exactly what overfitting looks like at scale. The model crushed the training set, and then it failed the test set. That's exactly why Duke, the #1 overall seed this year, barely survived Siena in the first round. that is why ensemble models that simulate the tournament 10,000 or 100,000 or even 1,000,000 times still can't produce a reliable bracket. The theoretical odds of a perfect bracket sit around 1 in 10 quintillion, not because the models are bad, but because the signal-to-noise ratio in a single elimination tournament played across shifting contexts is just genuinely brutal. The regular season teaches patterns. The tournament stress tests whether those patterns were real signals or whether they were noise. And the lesson for bettors and quants is identical. A model that only works on the data it was built on doesn't actually work. Generalization is the only metric that matters in production. Train on the season, validate your assumptions, get tested in March. And honestly, for successful quant-oriented gamblers like us, that last line probably reads better as get rested. Hope you guys enjoyed that 2-minute drill. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked the outfit. It was a little bit inspired from my Halloween look, so I just wanted to make it more of like an everyday kind of vibe. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked the video, and of course, if you have any questions or want to ask me more about it, learn about anything more in depth, just write me anytime. I'm happy to help. All right. So let me take another hit. And this is a live stream. Are there any other games you would like me to look at and break down live on air? We were looking at quite a few, but I would like to know, are there more? Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so glad you enjoyed that video. Oh yeah, that one's gonna have to go on YouTube very soon. Very soon. That will be the next one I get up. That one was on fire. Okay. Little cannabis smoking. It's always fun hanging out with you guys, enjoying a little bit of cannabis, talking about sports, hanging out. I think it's important to really just kind of break up the week like this. And I am going to be going out of town really soon, so I'll be giving you that schedule as well. Stay tuned in my email for updates, but we will be switching this live stream very shortly, so it's going to be like on Wednesdays and Sundays instead very soon. With baseball season coming up, like that just kind of makes sense. Okay, for Thursday's games, you know, I just have not looked that far into the future yet, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get like any clear, real like signals before then. I want to see how the money develops a little bit more. You know, I would say right now, like just kind of keep your eye on this, but look at where the money is going and what the lines are doing. You know, right now, I would say, you know, just kind of cherry pick. You know, you don't want to overspend on your bankroll, and you know, just do a lot of different plays. So really cherry pick your spots, but because it's so far out on Thursday, and it's only Tuesday right now, I would rather just like wait and see. So stay tuned in the email, because I will give you updates in this daily email if I do see anything that's really standing out. But as of right now, yeah. No, that's okay, Super Duper James. I'm glad you showed up here. Thanks for joining in the live stream. I was just saying how, this Tuesday live stream is a good way to break up the week, get some sports gambling in, but also we will be switching the stream very soon to Wednesdays and Sundays because baseball season, so things are switching up a little bit. Hey, taking care of business, Loco. DJ Ray, thank you so much for linking the daily email. And that's the best way to see all the updates, understand when the changes are happening. It's all going to be written in the email. Nobody's going to be left in the dark. And it's very easy to very easy to write back to me anytime and just say, hey, I have a question here, or hey, like, what do you think about this? Very easy to get a hold of me. Okay, so you guys knew my advanced play. I took the Cavs, but this is sitting at, I'm looking at it, it's sitting at minus 10.5 everywhere, minus 10.5, minus 110. We've been doing really well with these advanced plays, and if you signed up for the free daily emails, that is a great place to get these advanced plays. Hi, you're Psycho. Welcome in. DJ Ray, thanks so much for linking my Substack and my website. Chris, welcome in. Wow, seems like everyone was outside today, mowing the lawns, getting the garden ready. Oh, that's good, taking care of business. Let's go. I love hearing that. Yeah, well, you know what? It's starting to warm up here. It's actually a nice day, even though it was only like 40, maybe 45. Like, just having the sun out, it felt warmer than like a 45 day in spring. It feels like it's finally getting warm. Like, it's just been so cold this entire month of March, and I don't know, it keeps going back and forth. Like, it'll be 80 one day and then literally snowing the next. I don't like it. Sunny but cold in New York. Yeah. A beer or cannabis garden. Why not both? A beer garden and a cannabis garden. Make both in your backyard. I think that would be great. That's a great way to spend your time. Hey, that is a-okay, DJ Ray. That happens. You know what? I totally understand. I think it happens to more people than we even realize. Like, I've been trying to hire an employee or a few employees actually, for example. And like, one of the things I've noticed is like everyone like books an appointment and then they don't end up showing up to the appointment that they scheduled for like when it's convenient for them, like a video meeting. So I think, I just think like time slips away sometimes, so I get it. But that's a very common thing. Starting baseball in snow. Oh no, I hope it all melts. It's all melted here. Okay. So this is tonight. This was another advanced play. The advanced plays so far, we've hit 10 of them. We've only lost 3 of them, which I would say, considering variance and all of these other factors that just happen with these games, we've been doing really well. Yeah, reliability, it's a real thing. Well, it just like flowed off the tongue. That's a-okay, DJ Ray. Just works. All right. I'm just having fun with you guys. So, compared to the Orlando Magic, they have a huge rest advantage. They've had a lot of days off, whereas, the Magic, they've had 9 games in 14 days. They've had back-to-back days with travel, and it's just, of course, both sides have injuries, but looking at Orlando, they're just so much more compromised. They have so many more injuries, and I just don't think it's going to be a very strong night for them. All things given, considering their schedule, considering the injuries and everything else going on here. This is another advanced play of mine, and really the only thing I'm looking at tonight in the NBA. That's it. Thanks so much, DJ Ray, for reminding people to hit the like button if they haven't already. Come in, give the stream a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, because that's a great way to stay notified, especially if you're subscribed through, YouTube, Rumble. I know they send out notifications when I'm going live. I don't know about Kick so much. I'm gonna have to look into that. Hi, user 8472. Welcome in. Yes, it's a good strain. That's good. And check science. I mean, you would think if it's like, hey, I have a great idea, like here's a remote job, you can work from home. Like there's so many benefits. Like what we need you to do isn't really that hard. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard, like trying to find like good plays in today's day and age. I don't know, this job market, I guess. Alrighty, so I created a presentation for you in AI because I know I've talked about this a lot, but I think it's important that we just really go over this and talk about it some more, like splitting data sets. I always say, split it into a train, test, validation set. And that is really the way to know, like, is your model working? Does it generalize well? Just what we were talking about in the 2-minute drill. Like, does your AI model actually work? Or, does it just appear like it's working? And the only way to know that is by splitting your data. I'm from Las Vegas. All right, so we're going to go over splitting data sets, and let's just talk about it. So we've covered a lot of Python fundamentals so far. In fact, we even did, regression with the NFL data set, and now we're just going to talk about splitting data sets, just building upon why this is so important and how to get the most out of your AI model and really understand, is it working or is it overfitting? Are you AI teaching about AI? Absolutely. This is what I'm doing all day, so you might as well learn about what I do. Like, this is what I'm learning and Sudoku. You see one, you do one, you do it yourself, and then you teach one, and that's how you become an expert. So just by sitting here and teaching you guys, it helps me become an expert. So I'm really passionate about this because it helps me learn as well. All right, so you have your training set. That's where your model learns the data and it finds the patterns. The validation set, this is where you start tuning your hyperparameters, and then you could compare models like, did you like this adaptive boost model versus a gradient boost model? And what are the hyperparameters for this model? What do you want to change here? And then finally your test set, like, does this model work on unseen data? And that is key. And you have to split all of your data at the beginning before you start scaling your data, before you start doing anything with your data. split it all at the beginning, you know, so there's just no data leakage. You don't want any of that. Okay, so there's no real magic ratio for how much data goes where. You could do like an 80-20 split, you know, for just doing a simple, like I'm going to train the model and test the model. If you're doing training validation tests, you might do 70-50-15 or 60-20-20. It really just kind of, it doesn't really matter all that much. It's more up to you. It's not like really super specific. It's more an art than a science in a way. All right. And so, yeah, how to code it. So we have a screenshot, an example right here. You could feel free to screenshot this. So as you see, you're selecting, you're putting your test size in there. And yeah, you have your X training, your Y training set, then your X test set, your Y validation set, you know, keeping it all separated. Now you might have a question like, why is there that random state 42? And that is simple. Just, you want to be able to reproduce it. And being able to reproduce this is extremely important to data scientists and people who also want to validate your model on the outside and really make sure that it works. You know, the more people that you have testing your model, I mean, that's what, as a true data scientist, you want to have, and you want people to try to break your model so you can make a better one. Yes, you're psycho. Because 42 is the secret of life. 42. The meaning of life, universe, and everything. I bet you probably didn't know I read Hitchhiker's Guide, but I definitely enjoyed that book. All right, so it does include the randomness. It just makes it repeatable. So everybody, I would say for the most part, just does 42. I don't know. It's just kind of a thing. Maybe that's why. Okay. And we just wanted to briefly touch on this K-fold validation. Cannabis is getting to me. Okay, the data is divided into K parts. The model trains on most parts and validates on one part. And then this repeats several times and the scores are averaged. So this is a little bit more advanced, but I would say a lot of people, you know, most people include this, like, as they're building their model. Alrighty. Thanks for watching. And that was the AI segment for today. If you have any questions, you guys know how to stay in touch with me. Thanks so much for coming to this live stream. I had a blast with everyone here today. We, you know, didn't have a whole slate of games that we were looking at, but we did find a few that we really liked. Oh yeah? You try to get me high. I think I already am high. One more hit, right? Oh, I definitely got that. Definitely got a little high. This was a fun live stream, everyone. Yeah, of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks so much for coming to this stream. Oh, nice. Congratulations, Chris. Good luck on all of your wagers tonight. Have a wonderful winning week. And, you know, just remember, find the best bets. Like, don't, don't gamble with more than you can lose. Like, this is, just make sure it's fun. Make sure you're being responsible with your bankroll is what I'm really trying to say. Got a little tongue twisted because of all this cannabis, but just with college basketball going on, March Madness, be responsible with your with your bankroll, gamble responsibly, but still have fun. Find the winners, but cherry pick them. Be selective. That is the key to being a professional bettor. Is really being selective with your bets and building your ROI and tracking everything. Seeing, did I really find an edge here? And so thanks so much for joining the show. I really appreciate. Oh yeah, I think I definitely am shadow banned for sure for ripping a bong on stream, but that's okay, because you know what? I'm all about freeing the cannabis. I want people to, who are of legal age, to be able to enjoy cannabis responsibly and, in a healthy kind of way. Same thing with gambling. So, I try to practice what I preach, and I wish you all good luck. Good luck on all of your wagers. And I'll see you all next time. Stay tuned. The Daily Report, that's where you'll find all of the updates. Just sign up, arielcalista.com. Click the Stay in Touch button. Give the stream a thumbs up on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you all next time. Thanks for joining.